Hi, my name is Melissa and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my birthday book haul. I went a little crazy in the month of October, bought a ton of books, a total of 29 books. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about them. I've actually read definitely not most of them. I've read a couple of them for several different videos that I've done throughout the month of October, so I'll leave those videos linked down below if you want some more in-depth thoughts about those books. So I have a couple books to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. The first books that I'm going to talk about are ones that I did read. So first one and foremost is going to be Raphael by Tillie Cole. This is the first book in the Deadly Virtues series. Very, very triggering, lots of very dark content packed into a tiny little book. Loved it. Sped through this book, honestly. I love Tillie Cole's dark romance. She definitely goes there. Really just gives you all of that dark, gritty content that, you know, a lot of authors won't go to, and I just live for it. So yes, very, very triggering. It has to deal with very bad priests and these boys who grew up to be men and their relationships. Each of those books follow a different set of characters. I am very excited to continue on with the series. Next book I have is Hush Hush by Lucia Franco. This is one of the books that I read for Read More Like More to Marry, and I really enjoyed this one. It's about a girl who basically becomes an escort because she is low on funds. She battles, you know, between this, and she ends up striking up this affair with a married man. So obviously very taboo. I really enjoyed it. It definitely was something that I probably would not have picked up on my own. I'm glad I did. Really enjoyed it. Yes, very, very good. It was quite lengthy, but again, sped through it. I found myself picking it up throughout like the entire day. The next book that I've read already is Gothicana by Runix. This is a dark academia romance, kind of witchy vibes with like a professor, taboo, dark, like little bits of witchiness going on. It was perfect for the October like weekend that I read it. I read it for the Ravished by Romance book club hosted by Lacey and Jess, and I just loved it. It was really, really good. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. This cover is everything. And in the book, let me see if I can actually find one. They have, it's just beautiful. They have these pictures with these quotes from all these different authors like Edgar Allan Poe. They even have one from Beetlejuice. I was posting them on my Insta stories as I was reading this book. So it was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. Next is of course another taboo romance, and that is Priest by Sierra Simone. I don't know what took me so long to read this book. I read this one for Smutathon, really enjoyed it. Again, very taboo. It's about a priest and him falling in love and doing things he shouldn't, you know, be doing because he is a priest. I will let you watch my Smutathon vlog, which I will again link it down below for you to hear my more in-depth thoughts about it. But again, highly recommend. And then again, a lot of people, as soon as I posted that I had this on my TBR, said I have to read it, so I'm glad I did. Two books that I've read a while ago and decided to pick up physical copies. The first one is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, a classic Mariana Zapata book. This is about a girl and her now ex-boss who is a NFL player. He is from Canada. Basically, it's an arranged marriage because he finds out that he needs to basically get married in order for him to be able to legally stay in the US and continue with his career. So yeah, that is what this is about. It's so good. I love the buildup. It's kind of like work enemies to lovers and all of that good stuff. It was so cute. I enjoyed it so much. And yeah, anyways, definitely a very good Mariana Zapata book if you haven't read one. Next is from my absolute queen, Penelope Douglas's Punk 57. I read this one years and years ago, and I just now got a physical copy. I cannot believe it. This one I know went viral on TikTok and all of that good stuff. So I'm so happy to see that a lot of her work is getting more attention because I adore her books. This one is about Misha and Ryan. I never know how to pronounce their names, but basically they become pen pals when they're younger as kids because their schools get think that their names are like girls and boys, and anyways, so they become these pen pals. They're in different cities. Somehow they end up meeting by chance, and this is their story. It's super short, but so good. It is a high school romance, so if you're not into that, it's definitely like a little bit spicy. And I read this years ago when I was a little bit closer in age to these characters, but again, I really enjoyed it so much. Penelope Douglas delivers it every time. I need coffee. The book that I'm currently in the middle of is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is a fake dating professor, teacher, student romance. Oh my gosh, so cute. It's fan fiction for the Star Wars Kylo Ren, and I always forget the other girl's name. Rilo, I don't know. Whatever their like ship name is, which I do ship them, so I'm obviously not a true fan. But this one's so cute. It's basically our main character, Olive. She wants her best friend to feel free to date her ex-boyfriend because she doesn't have any feelings for him. So she ends up kissing the first guy that she sees, and it turns out to be this grumpy professor. So Grumpy Sunshine, I'm sure you've heard a lot about this book recently. It has been everywhere, and I can absolutely see why. I put a poll on my Insta stories, and this one won. It's for me to pick which one I wanted to read next. So this one won. Love it. It's great. Almost done. Alrighty, moving into books that I haven't read. I have two Mariana Zapata books. One is Culty. This is a sports age gap romance with a soccer player and her coach. Haven't read this one, obviously, but this one is again another favorite of a lot of people who love Mariana Zapata. So I'm very excited because as soon as I hauled this in one of my videos, people said that I have to read this ASAP. The other one is All Roads Lead Here. This one I was gonna read on Kindle Unlimited, but then I saw it was on that Target buy two get one free sale, and I was like, heck yeah, I'd rather have a physical copy. So ended up picking this one up. I think this one is gonna be really good. I hear that, of course, it definitely has a lot of heartbreaking moments, but I'm very excited to dive into this one. I don't really know too much about it other than our main character ends up moving to somewhere in a more remote area, and I think it's like a neighbor, Grumpy Sunshine type romance. So I'm here for it. I love a good slow burn, and Mariana Zapata, as always, is the queen of slow burn. All right, we're not done yet, so let's keep going. The other one that I picked up is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I can't talk today, sorry. Too much coffee obviously has been ingested and taken. Oh my God. Too much coffee. My mouth is just like going a million miles an hour. This one, have no idea what it's about. I just saw a bunch of people on BookTube and Bookstagram love this one. It is a fantasy romance. I was on a fantasy romance kick a little while ago. Decided to pick this one up for myself when I was having a bad day. And I was like, you know what, why not? Let's pick it up. It's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be, but I'm excited to see what all the hype is about because I do know a lot of people enjoy this one. And the next book I have is the second book in the Deadly Virtues series by Tilly Cole. Again, this is very taboo, very dark, really goes there. These covers are awesome, honestly. Love them to death. Don't know too much about this one. This one is a lot longer than the first one actually, so very excited to dive into this one and see what is gonna happen, because obviously there's always some dark moments that are very heartbreaking in these stories, so we'll just have to see what happens. And I was definitely going for like a dark romance, then I started buying a bunch of like kind of like thriller horror books as well, and one of those is My Best Friend's Exorcism. This one I have no idea what it's about, other than I'm sure it's about a girl and her best friend. It gets, you know, possessed by a demon, and then, or whatever it is, and has to be exorcised. This one looks so cool. Like the cover looks like a VHS tape. I'm living for it. I heard really good things about this one. I don't know, I'm still in that mood for like dark Halloween thriller books, even though we're in November now and I feel like most people are starting to read Christmassy books, but I'm still living for like these dark romance and horror thriller books, so who knows. So one of my absolute favorite books of last year was The House by the Cerulean Sea. So when I found out that TJ Klune was writing a new book, Under the Whispering Door, I knew I needed to pick it up. I think this one is actually going to be a lot more heartbreaking and a lot more hard-hitting than the other one. That one was a little bit more uplifting and so cute. So I don't think this one is going to have the same vibes, but I loved that book, and I love TJ Klune's werewolf series as well. He writes male romance books, and I just, oh my god, loved The House by the Cerulean Sea. Again, sorry, too much coffee, can't talk. Really excited to dive into this one. Don't really know too much about it, but yeah, either way, I trust him and his writing, so I will dive into this one very soon, hopefully. And a book that I didn't think that I was gonna pick up, but ended up getting it anyway because I wanted the UK cover, that is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. I honestly think the UK cover is way better than this one. I was expecting this to come out, I think back in 2020, and it just came out this year. This is a hunk of a book, but I saw that Barnes & Noble had their own version of it, so I figured, you know what, might as well pick this one up. I wish it had something on the cover, but it does have these like illustrations on the inside. But yeah, the front cover is not as cute. All I know is about vampires, and I ended up really enjoying the Nevernight Chronicles. Listened to it on audiobook back in like 2019 and really enjoyed it. I really liked reading his books via audiobook, especially since that series had like footnotes, and me and footnotes in a book just don't vibe. And the way that the narrator did that, it just made it so much easier to follow along. Anyways, don't know what this one's about too much, but vampires, Jay Kristoff, I'm here for it. All right, apologies. My camera battery died. I had to go find my other one, and it was literally right in front of my face. So I was talking about the next book, which is The Downstairs Girl by Stacey Lee. This is a Reese Witherspoon YA book club pick. Again, way too much coffee as I drink more, sorry. Anyways, this is about a girl who writes newspaper articles kind of like talking about how society at the time is just like not all it's cracked up to be, basically exposing people and their secrets, and especially how they treat their staff, so on and so forth. And it has a little bit of a mystery and danger. I trust Reese Witherspoon's book club picks because the ones that I have picked up by her, I've loved and adored. So very excited to give her YA book a try. And I picked up some more YA books. The next one is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I need to figure out a way to take off these stickers without ruining the books. I just hate that Target does this. Again, I went on a huge whole shopping spree when they had the buy two get one free. This one is kind of what I've heard referred to as a YA version of Knives Out. There's this big inheritance that comes to be, and a lot of people are vying for the chance to inherit all of this wealth. That's all I know. I love Knives Out. It's one of my favorite movies, so I figured why not get a book that I could dive into. The second book is already out. Yeah, that's all I really know. So the next one is one I know nothing about, except it's called The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I know nothing about this book. I just saw the cover, thought it was gorgeous, and that's all I know. I think this one has a little bit of a mystery. I think it might have a little bit of dual timeline involved. That's really all I know, but like, look at this cover. Absolutely beautiful. So it's definitely a cover buy, sorry. Next book I picked up is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I think this one is like a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in China. That's all I know, but let's, oh, Shanghai, in the 1920s. Give me more. Yes, this sounds so good. I guess like rival gangs, Shanghai, 20s, yes. I don't really know too many people that have read it. I'm sure that there are a lot of people, because this book is like everywhere at Barnes & Noble and online and everywhere, but I don't really know anything else much more than that. Words are hard today. I am so sorry. All right, to continue on with my like way too many books that I bought. The next one I picked up is The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. This is the second book in the Deadly Education series, Scholomance series. I don't know. I adored the first book. It was so good. I love the magic system, the world, the way that it was like this isolated school, and the way that there's no professors, and it was very dangerous, and there was like a little bit of a love romance thing happening. So as soon as I finished it, I wanted to read what was going to happen next, because obviously it ended on a cliffhanger. When I saw that this was in Barnes & Noble literally yesterday, I picked it up, grabbed it, and I can't wait to read it. Another YA book that I recently picked up is XOXO by Axio. This is about a girl who is a cellist. She meets a boy, I think, in her school. It was like a music school, I'm not really sure, don't quote me on that. They have a romance, he leaves, she ends up moving to Seoul and going to this like arts school, and of course runs into that boy, but turns out he is not just any boy, he is a K-pop idol. And if you know anything about K-pop idols or any type of actors or any celebrities in, you know, like these in Korea, like they don't date, or they don't date publicly, so it could end very badly for him and her. So, you know, I don't know how this is gonna end up or end, you know, all of that. I don't know. Words are hard, words are happening, and words are not making sense today. So very excited to pick this up. I love K-dramas, and I think this one will be perfect. All right, we are making our way through. Here's a couple more. I have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This is one that I know a lot of people who love thrillers have probably already read. It's about a girl who ends up taking this job to watch over and basically house sit this apartment, but there's a lot of mysterious things happening. I'm not really too sure what else is involved in this story except that. I wanted to read this one during October, but I think I can probably read it here fairly soon. It looks really short. I read my first Riley Sager book earlier, like in the month of October, so I'm very excited to pick this one up. And another thriller is 9 Perfect Strangers. This one obviously I picked up because it's a Hulu series. I love, what was the other one? Big Little Lies. I didn't read the book, but I loved the show, so I was like, maybe I'll enjoy this one because it has Nicole Kidman in it. I wanted to read the book before watching the show. A book that was everywhere this summer was People We Met on Vacation by Emily Henry. I finally read Beach Read this summer, really enjoyed it. Definitely was heartbreaking, had the romance, the steaminess, loved it. So I ended up picking up her second novel, and I'm excited to read it. I don't really know too much about this one other than I love the cover, looks super cute, looks super summery as well. Again, don't know anything about it. One of the books that I have been looking for everywhere, and finally just decided to purchase it on Amazon, because every time I went to a bookstore, they always had the first one or the third one, or the first and the third and not the second, and it's Heartstopper Volume 2. The first one I read a couple years ago, adored and loved so much, or maybe I read it last year, but it is a graphic novel, male romance, super cute. I loved the first one so much, and I wanted to read the second one, but they were kind of a little bit expensive, and especially the fact that you read through them so quickly. It took me a lot to finally like pick this one up, but I'm very excited that I finally have my Volume 2 copy. And again, another YA thriller, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Don't know what this one's about. All I heard was really good things from those that enjoy YA thrillers, so I picked it up. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I can make a little video of reading some more thrillers, because obviously I purchased quite a bit of them. And I ended up picking up the third book, even though I still haven't read the second book, by Shelby Maharin. Is Gods and Monsters. I still need to read. I have it literally right here, Blood and Honey. Then I bought this third book, even though I haven't read the second book, but I loved the first book, so here we are. The first book is about a witch who has an arranged marriage with a witch hunter, so obviously she has to like hide who she is. It was definitely on the more new adult side of YA. It definitely had some steamy scenes, which I did like. I appreciated that like it's starting to grow other than kind of like this kind of stuck in this same like little very young YA. So I definitely read older YA and I really enjoyed it. I loved the first book. I have 3 books left. So the next one is Bunny by Mona Awad. This one again is one that so many people I've seen love or they hate. It's about a group of girls that all call each other Bunny. I think it's a dark academia murder, I don't know, but I love the cover of this paperback. I wanted to get it in hardback, but it's like out of print, so here we are. I am not complaining because I just love this. Like every time I look at this book, it makes me want to pick it up. Okay. So next is Heart and Soul by Jen Frederick. This is about a girl, I think, who was adopted and she's from Seoul, like that's where her family's from. I think she finds out her father passes away, so she decides to go back to her hometown and find out more about her family. There's a relationship that gets involved. It's like, it mentions like K-drama in the back, so I was like, yes, absolutely, let me purchase this. And last book is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. This is one I have no clue what it's about. All I know is Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte loved it, and so of course I'm easily influenced and purchased it myself. I think there's magic, maybe a competition, I don't know, I don't care. The cover is beautiful and yeah, I'm here for it. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for sitting with me and listening to me attempt to talk about books, because I've literally had way too much coffee and continuing to drink said coffee while filming this video obviously was not the best idea, but thank you for sticking with me and listening to me ramble. If you've read any of these books, have any thoughts or opinions, want to chat about it, talk about it in the comments down below. I would love to get your opinions on it and hear what you have to say. Even recommend me any books that you enjoyed. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day and happy reading. Bye.